Viewers, just think that you have drunk such a magic water that came directly from space, and after that, you get various types of powers like flying in the air or controlling anything with your mind, and these powers will be a boon or a curse for this person. It will have to be known as soon as possible. At the beginning of the story, we see a woman named Rumi who used to run a restaurant with her mother. Ruby used to do all this since childhood because she never went to school. In fact, Rumi's father had left her mother a long time ago, and since then, Amy was living with her mother. One day, people from a company named Oasis come to her in the market, and they have to make a mall there by breaking the whole market. But the people of the market were not ready to move, so now the company's people forcefully start to deal with everyone. All those people started to start kicking out the room and everyone else. Rumi's mother, seeing all this happening, immediately went to save her son, but the people of the company also kicked Rumi's mother out and beat her a lot and threw her on the ground, which made Rumi's mother's head collide with the ground very fast, and now she was immediately unconscious. Now, hoping to admit her mother to the hospital as soon as possible, but due to the injury being quite severe, Rumi's mother had already taken her last breath. Then at this moment, something strange falls from the sky to the ground and meets in the rivers of the mountains. It was the same water that used to go to the people of the city or in the city. Kim, who was Rumi's father, drank this water whose taste was quite different to him, and now he started having a lot of pain in his stomach, but he completely ignored this matter and got busy in his work. In fact, he used to work as a security guard in an office, and he advises a maid there to steal small things from the office and take them home. And the maid had already filled many saris together, so that she would be caught stealing, but he completely ignored the woman and left for his work. In the evening, he was sitting in a restaurant when suddenly the same pain started in his stomach, which was happening this time quite rapidly. But then the sari-like things around the scene started flying in the air, as if some magical powers were controlling them all. And now a powerful shock came out of the man's body, causing the saris, chairs, and tables to fall away. This means that the scene had now acquired magical powers, but there was no idea about its magnitude. The restaurant owner kicks them out because he had caused a lot of damage to the restaurant. After this, the scene reaches his small house where sari-like things were sold, which he had laid down all at once and had taken a cigarette in his mouth. But when he showed his hand towards the lighter kept away, the lighter suddenly flew into his hand. Those who were not trusting this thing at all were happening, but then his daughter Rumi came there, gave him the news of the day on the bed that his mother was no more. The South, wearing an old one, goes to his wife's funeral, but the scene could not recognize his daughter Rumi at all, and he ignored her completely and moved forward because the scene had left his daughter very little ahead, and until then he had never seen his daughter. But now there is the president of this company whose name is Mean, goes to Rumi and gets quite angry after seeing him, and he has to move forward to do because it was because of all those people that his mother died. Mean clearly says that his mother was because of his own mistake. She was in return for her mother's death, but Rumi was not ready to accept that money. She was ready to return the money to her face. There was also a lawyer named Kim, and if he advised Rumi not to fight there, because this will harm those people. Along with Kim, he goes to the restaurant, which was completely destroyed, and because of this, Rumi also suffered a lot of damage. Chinta feels quite sad seeing all this, and in frustration, he had turned his hand. Then such an invisible power came out of his hand, which threw a whole dead trash away. Those who did not know yet what was happening with him. He gets a lighter in his hand, which suddenly flew to him, so Shri immediately goes home and tries to pull it towards him by keeping the lighter away, and every time the lighter flew into his hand. But now he himself was excited by giving his own psychic powers, and now he concentrates his mind power, which causes the sari-like things of the scene to start flying slowly, meaning that with Avon's psycho food, there was this power, meaning that he had superhuman stamina along with the power to fly anything in the air. However, Persian does not tell anyone about this big thing, you see, taking his daughter Rumi to this market where all the other people were silent because some people from the company would come here and start destroying it, so all the shopkeepers had to stay hidden, but they were all very tired. They all decide that they will also attack those men, but the recall, whose name was Kim, understands everyone that there will be no benefit in fighting with those people, and if any negative points are added against them in court, then China says that those people should be banned from this work and a new job should be found. Hearing this, all the shopkeepers were suddenly enraged, because those people had put a lot of hard work into these saris. That's why Rumi runs away from there with her father, because if San even stops there a little, those people would beat him up in anger. You see, Scene goes to the manager of a circus who was demanding less than the manager, who saw a demo of his acquired powers. He went to his son after this and was telling Rumi about when he met, and now he goes back to his work, but Rumi shows some magic duties. But Rumi did not trust her father at all, and she tells him to stop all this because he was just passing time. In fact, Rumi had no love for her father since childhood. He had left his wife and daughter long ago, and since then Rumi had been telling her mother, but suddenly a perfume comes to mind and Rumi does not accept this fact that he is his actual father. Scene tells him that he had a lot of debt on him, so he had left both of them long ago out of fear, but now it was such that Rumshin would never accept it. After this, when Sim comes out, he sees those people from the company who were causing chaos in the market, just like the shopkeepers had heard the news that all the people of the company were coming to attack them, so all the shopkeepers had blocked the door suddenly. But the number of people from the company was quite high, so they broke the door and entered, and they had even caught Sean, who was saving his daughter from the company people, and he sweats his powers and pushes them all away. He was continuously beating those people, and everyone was falling away as if the scene of an action movie was going on here. All the people were stuck by giving the power of the scene. And now, in front of the scene, a robust man approaches, but China, using its powers, had already twisted his arm from a distance. He then throws the man into the air, and the police arrive at the scene. The officer starts watching the video recording of the place to determine who was actually at fault. He sees the scene where the man was throwing people away, and upon seeing this, even the officer gets excited and wonders what to write in the report. As the officer sees that the man had superpowers and was throwing everyone away, he informs all the people there to leave. After they are escorted out, everyone is quite pleased with the scene, as it had never happened before that they easily defeated the company's people. But Rumi was not so quick to forgive San. The next day, she sees the company's people noticing that something was flying in the air. Then all their cars also start flying in the air, and now, in front of the market Nakar P. Rumika lawyer Kim, when asked about his powers, Tasneem says that she received these powers from her deceased wife. Time passes slowly, and now Rumi also starts talking nicely with her father. However, the story N is worrying Rumi because she doesn't want her father to get hurt due to these powers. On the other hand, we see the manager of the Oasis company, in front of whom the CEO of the company had gone, and now the CEO, whose name was taken, had started a big movement because he had not yet emptied the supermarketplace. But now a decision has been made that no matter what, she will remain a mall there. Everyone came to know about the big power in the company. And now, this day slowly started to culminate, but many news channels declared it as a terrorist attack, and some investigation was done on it. The police put Jay in custody, suspecting him of Rumi's mother's murder, which made his company suddenly safe because now he wouldn't have to go to any court hearing. If not taken, he would use his contacts to also influence the police. Now, all the police officers were at the market to evacuate the place. Jay was talking to Scene about how if he sided with his company, he would get Jay out of it, otherwise Shinko would have to live with Jay for many years. On the other hand, Rumi and others continuously attacked the police officers with small bombs to prevent them from clearing the place. But now JCB arrived, and the police officers broke the barrier. Rumi and others were running to save their lives, and now all the police officers entered the market and started clearing the area. Due to their attacks, the room was also quite injured here. In J, an officer changes his mobile and watches the news. So he learns that the police have attacked the market, and now this sign starts using his powers to save his daughter. He had already broken his handcuffs and the things in the sari, so now he becomes free from Jay and goes out. This scene was like a scene from a Superman movie, where he first used his powers to completely destroy the car, and now Scene was also starting to fly in the air, trying to save his daughter. He lands towards the market to save his daughter. The West had not practiced flying yet, so he had a little accident after flying for a while, hitting a building and causing damage to those who were underneath. But he wanted to save his daughter at any cost, so he started advancing towards Dugnate G. Here, all the police officers were beating the shopkeepers, but Scene arrived on time and the police officer in front of him pushed him away, so no one was able to stop him, and now Scene saved all the shopkeepers and transferred them to the top of the building. Then Scene went to find his daughter Rumi. Rumi had been taken by some police officers, but now they were all in trouble. Chin used his powers to save his daughter along with those officers. But now Rumi had fallen downstairs by mistake, and if something was not done quickly, Rumi would also fall down. Perchin goes down quickly and at the right time, saves Rumi from falling down. And now Scene apologized to his daughter and handed himself over to the police. After serving a 4-year sentence in jail, when Scene returns to this market, the entire place looks empty. Those who knew that the contract to build a mall here was not given to his company. But when Scene comes to Sun City, he sees his daughter in a restaurant, and this restaurant was his, which Rumi had named Superpower Chicken, and she had kept this name for her superpower papa. And with this, our superhero movie ends here.